I'm Lon Mitchell with Ohio Public Images. Again, it's my pleasure to be invited back to be the Master of Ceremonies for this morning's rally to show solidarity for our developmental disabilities service community. You know, when I start to think about every year the rallies and the standing room only crowds, and I think of how we've come through the years, you know, we had what? No services for the most part back in the 50s and the 60s, and then we had some services, sheltered workshops and sheltered employment, and then we got into the community with supported living and supported employment, and here we are today, again, several hundred of us in this room. What is the theme for this year? Our communities are better together, because not only have we lobbied, and all of you as self-advocates have lobbied and fought hard for the opportunities to live and work and play and worship in the community, but now we're at that point where we want the community to be welcoming to us, to reach out to us. And you are the people that are making that happen. You are the self-advocates that are changing history, and you all deserve a big round of applause, so let's do it. We are making the mark here in Ohio. We are changing history, and we're proving it gathering here again in the atrium of the State House, this beautiful facility. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, and one of the beauties of our state of Ohio is that the man who is at the head of the Department of Developmental Disabilities, the man who is the director, is not only very knowledgeable in the field, he is a parent, he is an advocate, but most of all, I think John Martin can be called our friend, and we are very privileged to have him as the director of the Department of Developmental Disabilities. So how about a big round of applause for Mr. John Martin.
Yeah, this event's getting to be an expensive event for me. It happens every year, and every year I got to give Lon $20 to say something nice about me. So it's an expensive event. So again, I want to reinforce what Lon said. One of the neat things about this event is all of you self-advocates who come from all parts of the state to come together and participate in this beautiful atrium here in this event. So thanks so much for all of you coming and playing such an important part of this event. And as Lon indicated, the title of the event, which I think is similar to last year, is Our Community is Better Together. And so you'll note we have a whole bunch of speakers who represent all different parts of our community. So we have somebody from the County Board Association leadership who will be speaking to you all, and the superintendent from the county board speaking to you all, and they're important parts of our system. They help fund our services, they help do some monitoring of those services, they help people find services, so they are an important cog in this system. And then we have folks who represent providers, people who provide a lot of the services in our community. And as those of you who receive our services know how important it is for those folks who work with you all to help you do some things that you struggle with, and hopefully to have fun with you and form relationships with you, etc. So we have representatives from that provider community who, again, play an important part of what we do. And then we have a number of you who are service recipients. Some of you in waivers, some of you who live in one of our state institutions, who are also going to be a part of our program this morning. And so that title, Our Community is Better Together, really reinforces how all of these different parts of who we are need to work together. And although we disagree sometimes, and sometimes some of us disagree very strongly, one of the things that I think is so neat about our community is that we can disagree with each other without being disagreeable, and we can maintain relationships as we work together to try to strengthen our community. But the other important part of this event is it isn't just about our community. We have people here who will be participating who are part of the community. And so we have some folks from Rio Grande, or I think they call it Rio Grande University. Is it Rio or Rio? Rio, but it's the Rio Grande River. I've never understood, but anyway. So we have folks from the Rio Grande University who are here. We have people from the Altman Hospital Network who are here. We have a person who runs a company called Ropey who has done a phenomenal job employing folks with disabilities who are here. And we have a service club, Maumee Valley Citavan, who's here. And so we have representatives from the community, and I think that's really important because what it's all about is that we don't have multiple communities, but we have the community, and that we really appreciate how everyone is working together so that folks from our community can be fully integrated and be a part of the community as we're moving forward. So thanks everybody for coming. And Lon, we'll kick it back to you to introduce our speakers, so thanks.
As Director Martin mentioned, it's easy if you have an activity in Columbus to feel that it's just the people from Columbus that come. But this rally has people from all over the state showing their collective energy. Who's here from Summit County? Yeah? And we've got people from Butler County here. Where are they? Butler County? Are you being quiet? Franklin County. And Medina County? Oh, you can make more noise than that. Noble County. And Warren County? There you are. Hey, that's a really nice t-shirt you've got on there. Lucas County. And Harrison County? I think there's some people that came in from Harrison. How about Cuyahoga? There they are, right back there. I'd like to really get things started off with a little music. And Kathy Kelly with her TAC Choir, I'd like you to come forward. We have several individuals and groups today that will show off their skills and their talents. And from Springfield, Ohio, representing Clark County, is the TAC Choir. And they're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are able to stand and join us with the pledge, young men, please take your hats off. And we all want to face the flag as we say the pledge. Please be seated. The TAC Choir will lead us in the singing of America the Beautiful. You'll recognize this song. That's what friends are for.
And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I know.
And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And if you can remember,
Sing along.
are coming from my heart. And if you can remember,
What a wonderful job, the TAC Choir. You know, that song has some very, very powerful lyrics. For those who didn't know the song or didn't hear, but the lyric line that says, "Good times, bad times, I'll be there." That's what friends are for. We're all friends here, right? Yeah. We'll give everybody a chance to get back to their seat. Our next speaker is Scott Osterfeld, and he is the Chief Operating Officer for the Ohio Alliance of Direct Support Professionals and PATHs. Scott is known to share his amazing energy level to energize other people to make the most of their abilities and opportunities. Well known within Ohio's developmental disabilities community, and we are very pleased to welcome him here for this event. Scott?
Well, good morning. How's everybody today? Yes, you guys look great. I'm excited to be here. As Lon said, my name is Scott Osterfeld, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the PATHs Credentialing Program. It's a training program that trains and educates direct support professionals to do the best job possible for folks receiving services. And so I am pumped up, excited to be here. Woo! Give that choir a hand. They were good, weren't they? You know, the older I get, I realize that life is about a series of choices. Life is all about choices, the big choices and small choices we make every day. And I was reflecting on that fact when I was listening to a song, a country western song. Any country fans in here? Okay. Yes. I won't sing for you because they would throw me off the stage if I sang. But I was listening to a song by Leanne Womack, and it's a song called I Hope You Dance. You know it? And there's one line in the song that says, when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. And I thought about that. And I like to dance. I don't know about you, but I like to dance. And I won't dance for you either. But I want to give you, but I could do that a little bit better maybe. I could. Okay. If you know my wife, don't tell her I did that in public. But dance is an acronym. Every letter of the word dance stands for something that I want to ask you to do. And the first letter of dance begins with the letter D, and that stands for discovering your purpose and gifts in life. Think about that. Discovering your purpose and your gifts in life. What are you uniquely created to do? All of us have gifts to offer the world. The world is better when we're what? Together. And I had a chance to think about this and reflect about 6 months ago when I was giving the eulogy of my mom. My mom passed away 6 months ago, and I was giving the eulogy, and I was reflecting back when I was a young kid. I was 10 years old, and if you don't know me, I'm kind of a hyper kid. I get lots of energy, and the favorite game that I played with my best friend Billy was to build a fort in the basement. I would build one fort, Billy would build another fort, and the object of the game was to knock each other's forts down. So I would take our basketballs and footballs and soccer balls, we'd throw them back and forth, and toys would be flying everywhere. And my beautiful mom, when I was 10 years old, would be upstairs. And she would yell down when she heard the noise. She would say, "Scotty, what on earth are you doing?" And as a 10-year-old boy, when my mother asked Scotty, "What on earth are you doing?" it was always the same response. What do you think I said? Nothing, Mom. But now that I'm 44, if my beautiful mother was here today and she asked me that same question, Scotty, what on earth are you doing? What are you doing on this earth to make this world a better place? What are you doing to use the gifts that have been given to you to change the world? If I still say nothing, I'm not choosing to dance. The call for all of us is to discover our gifts and our purpose and use those to change the world. Who has gifts in here? Anybody? We all do. Everyone's hand should be up. You all have gifts and purposes and things that change the world. So that's the first one. D, discover your gifts. A is ask. Ask how you can make a difference. Ask yourself the question, how can I use my gifts to make this world a better place? So once we discover our gifts, we have to ask, what can we do to change the world? The third letter is N. It stands for notice. Notice the gaps in people's lives. All of us have things we can do well and things we can't do well. I cannot sing very well, so you'll never see me singing in the TAC choir. You will never see me, okay? Or hear me singing in the TAC choir, but you guys have that gift. Ask, how can you contribute? And I learned this by staying up late at night and studying philosophers. There's one philosopher you may have heard of. His name is Rocky Balboa. If you know Rocky Balboa, he is a boxer played by Sylvester Stallone, and there's 6 movies spanning 30 years. In the very first movie, he falls in love with a young lady. Anybody remember her name? Adrian. And Rocky and Adrian fall in love, but they have nothing in common. They're very different. And Adrian's brother, Paulie, who actually introduced Rocky to Adrian, asks, Rocky, why are you dating my sister, Adrian? And Rocky thinks about it and says this, well, you know, Paulie. Why am I dating Adrian? Well, you know, Paulie. Adrian got gaps, and I's got gaps. Together, we ain't got no gaps. Think about that. That's profound. Together, we don't have any gaps. Together, we are stronger than we are apart. If we all use our gifts and discover our passions, ask how we can make a difference, notice where our gifts are needed, those gaps, we can change the world. That's the end. C is to commit. Commit to making a difference. I think our society has forgotten how to commit to long-term change. I study history, and I remember hearing about a speech by Winston Churchill, who gave a graduation speech at Oxford in England. And they invited him up, and he was an older man, so they said, come on up and speak to 2,000 people. So he walks up the podium like this. It takes him about 10 minutes to get up there. He looks out the crowd, and he says this: never, never, never give up. That was his entire speech. But that is so profound. Commit to making a difference. Don't ever give up. So we have discover. We have ask. Notice the gaps. Commit to making a difference. And the last one is E, is expect great results. We have to expect more out of our staff, expect more out of our community, expect more out of our legislators, and most of all, expect more out of ourselves. One of my favorite movies is Braveheart. A story about William Wallace. It's a man who fights for a cause. At the end of the movie, he's going to be going through some torture in the public square, and his love of his life is crying and says, I don't want you to die, I don't want you to die. And what he says is so profound. When she says, freedom, she yells freedom. Yeah, that's a different part. That is my other favorite. Freedom! Awesome. But he says this in this poignant moment when she says, I don't want you to die. He says this. He says, every man dies, but not every man really lives. How profound is that? To really live, we have to dance. Discover the gifts and purpose we have. Ask how we can make a difference. Notice the gaps and fill those. Commit to making a difference. And expect great things to happen. So I ask you, in the words of Leanne Womack, when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Thank you very much. I have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker. This next young lady is a self-advocate. She receives services, and she communicated to us that she wants to take the PAS credentialing program so she can see and expect what her staff are expected to do. So she's a graduate of our program, and she's also here to share some stuff on her heart. So give Destiny Hawkins a hand. Destiny?
Hi, my name is Destiny Hawkins, and I'm from the Life Builders Group Day program in Delaware County, and I'm going to read my speech to you. I was in the past class with people who provided service for individuals who qualify for disability service in Franklin and Delaware County. When I came to the past class, I did not have a lot of knowledge about people with disabilities. I have became knowledgeable because of my mom helping me with my own disability, and God put wonderful people that worked with me in my life. I learned a lot about the way to work with individuals while I was in the past class. I also learned that people don't always understand someone with a disability. I learned to advocate for myself. The past class also educate me on how to be a better advocate for others with disability. Thank you for the opportunity to attend the past class, and thank you all for coming to support Disability Awareness Month.
Didn't Scott and Destiny do a nice job? So, okay, how many of us are going to dance? We are, right? We got the message. I want to thank members of People First who have been helping with some of the seating, helping people find their seats, and welcoming people to the atrium. Last I counted, we had about 25 counties here from all around Ohio. That's a really good show. And more people still coming in. So if you do have an empty seat next to you, raise your hand so we can get as many people seated as we can. Don Miller is our next speaker from the Ropey Corporation. They have been providing employment and training for individuals with developmental disabilities for 25 years, starting with real simple work, and then individuals got so good at it that they became the sample division for Ropey. So joining Mr. Miller and is our superintendent from the Seneca County Board of DD, Lou Hurst, and I think we've got some Ropey employees here. Yeah? Okay, come on up.
These are some of the greatest people in Seneca County coming up here now, and have been working at our workshop. A little bit of history. 25 years ago, this started as an experiment. We hired or contracted 8 people with disabilities from the Seneca County READs, and we had them in a building that was about 1,500 square feet. One supervisor, Kathy Nye. Kathy Nye is still with us 25 years later, but now we're in 22,000 square feet. We have 94 full-time READ people contracted and 11 supervisors, and Kathy is a division chairman. Kathy's right there. Great gal. We make rubber cove base, stair treads, tile. We're a floor covering company. We've been in business since 1955. Samples are a major problem for any manufacturer because they're something that you generally give away, so cost is important. We, last year, for an example, the Seneca County READs made over 8,300,000 pieces of samples. Now that's quite a huge number and a lot of work. They made those pieces for 1.6 cents a piece, which is about $500,000. And we pay the READs for that work. It's been a very, very successful, satisfying program for me, and I think it's been a very satisfying program for Seneca County. Seneca County has the lowest cost per person in the state of Ohio. And the reason for that is they go out and look for ways to make money to support people with disabilities. It's a wonderful program. I hope it lasts another 25 years. I know I won't. I've been, I've been there for 54 years, and I don't think I'll last another 25, but it's a great program. We're so proud of it. The people that we work with, and you see some of them, are so sincere, honest, hardworking, and they enjoy their work. They enjoy the camaraderie of their peers, and it's just been a wonderful experience for me. And thank you very much for allowing me to come up and tell you about a program that I'm very, very proud of.
Thank you, Don. I just wanted to add a couple things. Scott, I can't dance as good as you, but I think in Seneca County, our folks and the partnerships that we have and the premise of us all coming together is an incredible thing, as it is across the state of Ohio. But with our relationship with Don Miller from Ropey, what we've been able to do is partner and truly partner to create jobs, meaningful jobs for folks with disabilities. And in those jobs, Don lends his engineers to tailor equipment so folks that have limited range of motion or have other special needs can do full production. And in fact, there's been times when we've tried to bring in people from the outside to do some of the jobs, and our folks outproduce some of the folks without disabilities. And that goes to show that folks with disabilities can do anything they want to when they put their minds to it. I'm just going to take a minute and have our READ's employees introduce themselves.
Good morning. My name is Bill Young. I work at Ropey for 18 years, and I do Ropey products. I put chain sets together online, and I cut and I drill. Thank you.
My name is Petra Steyer. I work at Pastoria Division of Secretariat. My name is Petra Steyer. I work for the Pastoria Workshop, READs, for 3.5 years. And I tell material, I do machines to how many parts we all do. And we do the clicking. Thank you.
My name is David Ankish. I work at Battle Fishing Workshop, and I'll be there 19.5 years, and I work at rubber. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lisa Krause. I've been working for Ropey for 20 years and make samples, that chain sets, and we also box them too. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeffa Berman, and I work for 8.5 years, and I'm probably the secretary as Pastoria Division, Ropey parts, and we do hose, stacking, card checking, and assembly.
Thank you all very much, and I just wanted to say, again, thanks to Don Miller and his vision of that folks with disabilities are no different than anybody else, and that given the opportunity, they could outproduce and outwork anybody. And it's amazing, again, the relationship that we've had with Ropey and the success stories that have come out of it is created employment opportunities for over 120 folks in Seneca County, and we count on that relationship. And how many multimillionaires do you know out there that have huge corporations in multiple states, know individuals by their first name, and Don takes his time to do that. So thank you very much, Don.
What a wonderful story, proving again that individuals with developmental disabilities can be productive, viable members of our community's workforce. And we all know that. We are the self-advocates. And again, what are we doing by appearing here this morning? We're showing our collective strength, and what a wonderful thing. I've neglected earlier to introduce the man to my right, your left, who is doing the interpreting for us this morning, Tim Hendren. Doing a great job. I've been coming to these gatherings for almost 10 years, and one of the things that I walk away with every year is a chance to make new friends, to meet people who are in our developmental disabilities community. The next person I'd like to introduce has been my friend for a long time, and I think Jeff Davis is not a stranger to many of you. He is now with Opera, and they would like to talk about the Project Search activities that are going on. So Jeff, here he is.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. I will tell you, Lon was right in this. We've known each other a long, long time. I've been hanging around since the 1980s. That's a long time. I was a lot younger. Many of you probably weren't even born yet when I started doing this. Let me say this to you. I love this today. This is one of my favorite days of the year. The passion and the enthusiasm in the room is amazing. I am grateful that all of you are here. It is nice to see you, and Lon is right. It is nice to make new friends all the time. I want to talk about something important, and that is work. In our great country, it is impossible to underestimate the importance of work, what it means to us individually, what it means to us as a culture and a society. True, meaningful work opportunities are what we are about as a system and as a country. I want to introduce to you here in a moment a couple of folks that I love dearly that are really working at creating genuine work opportunities. A lot of us have stole from something that Scott said earlier, Osterfeld, and I want to do that. I want to go hark back to what he said about changing the world. I hope all of you each day wake up and say, how do I change this world? If you do that, it makes for one heck of a lot of fun and a fun life. So I hope you think about that. I want to introduce two ladies who are waking up each day and saying, I'm changing the world, and this is how we're going about it. Jan Doherty and Kim Phillips work with CIFRIN, which is a residential and employment provider up in the Northeast. They do a beautiful job. They're doing some incredibly creative things that they're going to talk about here today to put together real, live, meaningful, paid employment opportunities. I love that for all of you. So I hope you will welcome them, Jan Doherty and Kim Phillips. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Jeff. How many people here know a success story? Either you or someone you know. That's the passion that we feel every day when we wake up and we want to change the world. And we couldn't do it without you, the individuals that we serve, and the people that we become creative because of what we see. I work in a lot of more of the residential aspect, and for CIFRIN, we've been around for 35 years, and we have 7 counties that we serve people in. And I just know that when I see someone that has ownership in their job and they are excited to go to work and they know they've made a difference in what they've done that day, I mean, their whole life changes. Their whole life becomes more fulfilling, more happy. You know, people around them that they interact with on a daily basis, they're learning that everybody is equal. Everybody has that ability to work. So I'm so excited that Jan is putting together Project Search and all the other employment opportunities she's been working on. So I just wanted to introduce Jan, and thank you everybody for being here, and I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to talk about employment. Just to give you a little bit of history about myself, I do work for CIFRIN as a service provider, but I also am a parent of an adult son who has a abilities, not a disabilities, because we all have different abilities. So that's what really drives my passion every day about employment, because I want to see people working and making real money on real jobs. When I first started CIFRIN back in 2006, the department was very small, and I sat around thinking, you know, what can we do different? How can we make people's lives different every single day? And I heard about this great program in Cincinnati called Project Search. So a few of us took the trip to Cincinnati and took the tour of the program, and I fell absolutely in love with it. I thought, this is what I'm looking for. The goal of the program is employment. The goal is not having people work their way out of something, earning something. It's straight out up employment, just like the rest of us. So we fell in love with the program, more so me, and we came back to Stark County and started implementing the program. So we had to pull a lot of people to the table to get this up and running. It took us almost 3 years to the day. We have BVR as a partner. We had our local DD as a partner. Some local school systems came to the table, and we had to find a business partner. And that's where Altman Hospital came into the picture. They are a great business partner to work with. They get it about hiring people with abilities. So, as I said, it took us almost 3 years. The program in Stark County started its first day on January 3rd, 2009. And as part of the program, we had to develop internship sites within the hospital. And as of today, we probably have 45, close to maybe 50 different internship sites within the hospital. Right now, the first day we had 9 interns. Today we have 20 interns in the program. We've probably had close to 50 or 60 go through the program. The interns, when they enter the program, they get to select the internship site, the department that they want to work in. And it's based upon their interest and their abilities, work abilities, and skills. And then they get to select between 4 different internship sites. Each site internship lasts 11 weeks. They come Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning to 2:30. There is some classroom instructions that help them discuss different work topics to help them prepare and handle the different aspects of working in a department. The program does serve young adults, specifically young juniors and seniors coming out of high school that are transitioning into the work world, and young adults in their 20s that have little or no work experience. As I said, we have many internship sites. To name a few, the emergency room department, we have interns that work in the ER, and what they do is they get together and prepare all the emergency rooms for the doctors and nurses before the patients come in and that. And a huge responsibility is they have to make sure everything is sanitized. So they have to make sure all the thermometers get cleaned. They have to label when they last were cleaned and that for sanitation purpose. So it's a huge responsibility. Pharmacy, we have interns in pharmacy, and they get all the meds and they tube them up to the floors to the patients. So that takes a lot of coordination and good details. And in fact, we were told by pharmacy that the interns that have been in there have great quality control because they, been able to catch some med errors that probably, could have harmed a patient or made someone sick. So they were able to catch those errors and bring it to the attention to the manager. They're in physical therapy. They help patients with their therapies and tossing a ball. They're in direct care throughout the hospital, and they help make the beds, get water, they transport patients. Some work in the kitchen and the laundry. And as I said, there's probably 45 to 50 internship sites now developed that they can choose from. We do have some people that are in the program that need accommodations, and we provide those accommodations to help them get the job done. So I think we all use accommodations on our job. I know I use Post-it notes all the time. I don't know what I'd do without a Post-it note because I can't remember things, and that helps me to keep me on track. So maybe someone needs a picture book or special equipment in that to get their job done, and Altman is a great business that helps us develop these. Since we started the program, we just completed our third year in December 31st, just this past 2011, and 24 people have been hired. Half of those have been with inside Altman Hospital. The other half have been hired in outside companies within the Stark County area. The wages that they've been hired on have been from minimum wage, $7.70 an hour, all the way up to $15 an hour. And many of those have full benefits. So they have health insurance, dental, the whole package, which is really exciting. And we also work with the person or their families that if they do get Social Security, we help them that they are able to work, maintain their jobs, maintain their benefits, and keep their Social Security so they don't lose it. Because I know a lot of people really worry about losing that, and we don't want that to happen. While they're in the program, the interns also receive job development services. So we're helping with developing their resumes, snagging them interviews in other businesses and that. So it really helps when they can put that they've interned and worked inside Altman Hospital and put that on their resume because Altman's the biggest employer in Stark County. And so that's very impressive for people to get that on their resume. For some folks, that may not fit into that traditional completing a resume, going out and doing interviews, we do customized employment. So we may have to go out and carve out a job in a business for the person and that, and so we do spend a lot of time getting to know the person to find out what their unique skills are and then taking those skills and customizing jobs for them. I'd like to share with you a few thoughts that some of the managers gave us feedback on how they feel about the people that are working in the internship program. One says, he knows the job as good as the regular employee. If I had or ever get an opening, I would hire him. She has the willingness to complete job tasks assigned to her and willing to initiate new tasks. He was able to do work assignments, great. Make sure the job gets done on time. He has good work ethics and always gets the job done on time, and we never have to ask him for any of his work to meet the deadlines. I find these comments striking because I know some people that maybe work in with group type settings and that, and as I said, being a service provider, I've been at IP meetings on all that, and when they talk about day services, what they come to the table with is, well, they were able to sit at their chair 10 times out of 50% time. You don't hear that in businesses. They talk about real work skills. So I found that contrast very striking. Many of the individuals that go through Project Search, if they don't get hired, what happens then is we continue to seek jobs and customize employment for them, because our goal is 100% that everyone gets a job. So we work really hard at that, and we're very proud of our results and the work that we do. So my last thought is that we at Sifrin believe that everyone can work, and we are advocates for real jobs and real pay, and that's why Project Search works. Thank you.
I mentioned earlier that I am with Ohio Public Images. We are the statewide not-for-profit organization that creates the themes for Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month every year, and of course the theme this year is We Are Better Together. I'd like to introduce some of the other members of Ohio Public Images who are here today that I've spotted. Pamela McCourt is in, stand up so everybody can see you. And let's see, Liz Sheets was running around with a camera. Liz, I can't find her. Sherry Steinman is here, and Sherry is the one that organized our activities, so she really deserves a round of applause. Terry Noss is here, and we have Adam Herman is back there with a video camera. Let's see, Margaret Compton is over yonder. And when you call Ohio Public Images on the phone, the happy, friendly voice at the other end belongs to Mary Pat Riker, and Mary Pat is here. There she is. Geez, I hope I didn't forget any of the others that may have walked in when I didn't see you. Is there anybody else here from Ohio Public Images that I missed? Okay. We also want to recognize Carmen Shelton. Carmen, can you? Oh, okay. Raise your hand so everybody can see who you are. Carmen has information about Legislative Advocacy Day that's coming up first week in May. So before you leave here, if you're interested, please see Carmen and get some more information. Okay? Are the Summit County champions here? Well, come up here. Up here is where you belong. Come on. You know, most of us know that the primary way that county boards of developmental disabilities are funded is through local property taxes. And of course, we have to go to the levy process and ask people to vote for our levies periodically. And given the current economic times, that is not easy. But these guys worked hard in Summit County to pass the levy, and we want to bring them up here and recognize their activity. The champions from Summit County. I'm told they're not shy.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. I'm Bonnie Benz from the Public Relations Department of the Summit DD Board, and our Summit DD team today is comprised of persons served, champions of the Summit DD, volunteers. We're joined by Billy Joe David, our Summit DD Director of Quality and Interim PR Director, and also the ARC of Summit and Portage Counties. Woo! Lee Belvedere, Director of Advocacy. Under the strong leadership of Thomas Armstrong, our superintendent, we provide services to over 4,000 people in Summit County. And so it is my absolute honor to present our champions of the Summit DD. This high-profile group of individuals were the heartbeat behind the successful passage of our levy at 70%. They continue to stay engaged in social media, speaking opportunities, and just about any other opportunity to put their faces out in front of the community, because that's what's really important, for the community to see what they can do. At this time, I'm going to introduce Amy Brooks, who is an intern from the ARC, and she is going to interview the champions for you.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. For those of you who can't see me, I hope you can hear my voice. Anyway, we're going to start with Brian Monroe. He's the treasurer of People First of Summit County, as well as the Akron Kiwanis Action Club. So, Brian, I would like to ask you, how did your self-determination help with our message to voters regarding the levy?
I shared a lot of opportunities when I came here last year, and it's a good opportunity to vote and everything else.
Great. Thanks, Brian. Next is Jack Carroll. He's the president of the People First of Summit County. Jack, how did you get the message out to voters of Summit County, the importance of people with disabilities to work?
I think it was great, and I feel very proud and honored to be a part of being a champion to help people in the workforce and to get them full accord to pass the 7DD. I was involved in billboards, commercials, advertisements, and believe it or not, I was on a 7DD calendar as Mr. President.
Excellent.
So I'm really proud and honored and privileged. Thank you.
Great. We also have Karen Dudek with us. She's the Vice President of People First of Summit County. And Karen, I would like to know, how did people with disabilities speaking in the community help pass the levy?
By getting our involved team, we really need you guys to vote on different levy when they come and different things that affect the handicap and not like we'll be voting for the president this year. Get out and vote. Don't let nobody tell you you cannot do it. If one, you're right. If you don't agree with something, vote against it. All I can say is I've been involved with the levy, putting up signs, making signs, go out into the community, talking, getting people to vote for the levy.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. All right. Last, I'm going to introduce, it's my privilege and honor, as it has been for all of these guys. We've got John Bellis with us. He is the president of the Akron Kiwanis Action Club.
Hi guys, how y'all doing today? My name is John Bellis. I am the president of the Action Club Kiwanis. I'm proud to be a champion of Summit DD. My role was to keep people in Summit County information about speaking and appearing on billboards and websites. Now, if you guys can you all stand up, please? If you guys can. I'm going to get up here. Be easier. Okay, guys. When I count three, I want you guys to do this. Please, I want you guys to scream loud that the senators and the voters hear what we're going to do right now to blow up this place. 1, 2, 3. We are the community and better to be together. Let's do that again, guys. Remember, our community is better together. Come on.
Our community better together.
I can't hear you guys. Come on.
Our community is better together.
Come on, guys. One more time. Come on.
Our community is better together.
One more time. Come on. And one more thing I'm going to say. We went from Summit DD champions. We want to thank Tom Armstrong for all things he's done for us.
So we all know how to run a successful levy campaign now, right? It looks like they want to do something else. You got another speech? No? Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Hey, I want to recognize a couple other people that I spotted in the crowd. Gary Tonks, the executive director of Arc of Ohio. I think I saw him in the back. There he is, way in the back. And I believe I saw Dan Oler, the executive director of the County Boards Association. He was over that way. Did he slip away, slip into the crowd? Okay. Yep. We'd like to. Oh, he's back. Okay. Mr. Oler, it's time for your song and dance. No, I'm just. We organized a civic organization in the Toledo area. We organized a chapter of Civitan. And when we were organizing, we did not want, or nobody volunteered to be the president. So I teased Dan because he wasn't here to hear what we were saying about him. But when we organized Civitan, nobody stepped up to be president. So at the next meeting, the person who didn't show up, guess what happened? She got voted in as president. So if I'm involved in a meeting, don't ever not come to the meeting because you could walk away being... Maumee Valley Civitan is our next presenter. And we have several members here today. Deb Rockow will introduce the people. But I think one of the things that drew the attention of Sherry to organize today's event was that this is a civic organization that totally merges individuals with and without disabilities into the general membership to get things done. So how about a round of applause from Toledo. Here's Deb Rockow.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day to be here as we have gathered from across the state to celebrate and mark the history, the rights, and awareness of our citizens who have a developmental disability. Be proud of where you have come. Be proud of where you are at. But you cannot stop there. As citizens of this great state and of this great country, exercise your right to vote. There are important issues that are going to be coming on the ballot this fall which affect the DD community. Educate yourself on the issues, vote, let your voice be heard. Let me hear your voice. Stomp your feet, clap your hands, shout, yell. You're at the state capitol. Let your voice be heard. As a part of a member of Maumee Valley Civitan, one of the things that our organization does is we sponsor voter education events on elections and levies, giving everyone a chance to question their politicians on their positions on DD issues. The more of us that are registered to vote, the more impact you will have. Let your voice be heard. I have behind me Sam, Stephanie, Nick, and Tyler. They are members of Civitan. One of the great things I cherish about the Maumee Valley Civitan of the greater Toledo area is that our membership includes all people of our community, whether you have a disability or not. Another thing that I think is unique about our organization is that we hold fundraisers, and from that money, we use that to include citizens in their community in all-inclusive activities. Some of the things that we have put together, one of the very first ones was at the Village Players in Toledo. The club bought out the house, donated 190 tickets to individuals with DD, and then sold the remaining rest. What a great sight it was to see a community come together comprised of all different kinds of individuals. Other things we have put together is Toledo Mud Hens, Walleye Game, Cedar Point, and of course there's always food involved. And what's really good about these is we also set up transportation right to the events and back to where we started from. Our organization is also a part of an international organization, Civitan International, and their goal has always been to help people in their own communities. And in 1950, they adopted a special emphasis on helping people with developmental disabilities. The club in the greater Toledo area, Maumee Valley Civitan, started in 2006. And our focus has always been to develop projects that enhance the lives of people with a developmental disability. Another thing that I think that we do that is really great is when we have fundraisers, one of the things that we have started is a meat and cheese box sale, and we're going to start putting in those boxes different products actually made by individuals who have a developmental disability, thus promoting sales of their product, thus promoting jobs. So I guess I just want to end by saying we urge everyone in not looking at the things a person cannot do, but celebrating the things that they can, where everyone has value of service to their community. And don't forget, let your voice be heard.
Important message from the Maumee Valley Civitan Group. If anybody is interested in organizing a chapter in your area, see me. I didn't go to a meeting one day and got elected a district something or other, and I'm supposed to be out recruiting. So if you'd like more information, please see me or stop by the Civitan table in the back. All around the back of the atrium are organizations that have put up displays. I noticed Ohio Legal Rights Services was there. Goodwill is back there. So before you leave, if you have an opportunity, browse the tables and pick up some information about those organizations. Deb mentioned how important it is to get out and vote. We want to make sure that we speak our voice. Collectively, the DD community in the state has to stay united and strong and active getting our message out, especially to our state legislators. And one of the people that we entrust that task to is Dan Oler. I was teasing Dan a minute ago, but Dan is the Executive Director of the Association of County Boards. So I'd like Dan to come up and have a few words with you. That didn't quite sound right when I said have a few words with you. It almost like you were going to scold. No, Dan has some words of wisdom, right? Okay.
How is everybody this morning? You're enjoying your trip to Columbus. One of the, we talked about voting, one of the candidates for president's outside. I passed his bus on my way here, and he's out there speaking, so let him hear your voice today when you leave. We're in a very historic place. 2 years ago, it was the work of self-advocates where you really started to push, and one of the things that we wanted was a home and community-based waiver that had self-direction. Today, that's a reality. That's something we're going to start this summer, and I think we should give ourselves a big hand for getting that done. And when Lon introduced the director, and when he introduced me, you heard him talk about the Department of Developmental Disabilities and County Boards of Developmental Disabilities. That didn't used to be the name, did it? And who made that change? You did, absolutely. And you should give yourselves a big hand for that. We got that done. You got that done. So you've been doing a great job of letting your voice be heard. There's lots of events that happen in this room throughout the year. You have this room filled with people on the balcony up front. And that's something that you should be very proud of. And as the last speaker said, continue to let your voice be heard. And what we want to do and what we want to help you do is develop abilities, because we all have abilities. And let's work together to develop those abilities and be parts of our community. Have a great day. Thanks for giving me a couple of minutes. It's your day.
And I think we can all walk away from this event today having heard from the director, John Martin, having heard from Dan Oler, and we know that we are in good hands in this state. And let's just stay united and stay together. I have an explanation. Some of you may have seen me on my knees back over in the corner working with a little laptop computer. I am recording today's events. We're going to make a little radio show out of it to air on Sunday. So we expect to be able to get the word out about what we're doing. We'll also make this rally available on the internet through the Ohio Public Images website. So we'll get the word out. I think Sherry will probably be able to put that in pipeline to get everybody out. So your friends who weren't here today will be able to participate in our amazing activity. And I know we've got some video going with Adam in the background. So this is an event, and we want to share it with everyone that we can. The Gallipolis Developmental Center has representatives here today and also students from Rio Grande University. Where are they? Come on up, please. They have a very interesting story to tell that involves the soccer team. Am I correct in that? Yeah? Okay. So how many of you guys play soccer? Everybody like to play? Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Good morning. I'm not nearly the public speaker everybody else is, so you've seen me carry a clipboard. I have a cheat sheet here today to help me out. Let me introduce myself. My name's Matt Easter. I'm a residential care supervisor for Gallipolis Developmental Center. I've worked for GDC for 17 years. 2 years ago at GDC, we built a soccer field. Our goals are built out of old PVC pipe and net, and it was used just for evening activities. Now, my daytime home is GDC, but my evening home is Rio Grande, Ohio. Director Martin actually pronounced it correctly when he said Rio, but when you're from the hills of Appalachia, you have a different pronunciation for everything, Director Martin, so it's Rio. Anyway, Rio Grande is home to the University of Rio Grande Red Storm soccer team. 2003 national soccer champs, 2008 runner-up, and 2009 Final Four. Being friends with the coaches, I was telling them about the soccer field we built at GDC and how our individuals there were trying to learn the game of soccer. Through a brainstorming session, we came up with the idea of bringing our fledgling soccer team to the university to play in a stadium under the lights. Over the course of a month, we worked out the logistics, and on October 6th, this past year, the GDC Golden Eagles took over Evan E. Davis Field for the first annual Superstar Soccer Classic. Soccer is the most played sport in the world, and it is known as a beautiful game. The Superstar Soccer Classic was proof of where that definition comes from. At this time, I would like to introduce, well, actually, George, this is our star goalie for the evening. This is George. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is George Tresswell. I was the goalie of the soccer team. I was an Eagle. I'm hopefully going to play next year, and hopefully you guys come to see me. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Tony Daniels. He's the men's assistant coach to Red Storm Soccer. Let's give the Red Storm a round of applause.
How you guys doing today? What's that? I didn't hear you. All right. All right, thanks, Matt, first of all. My name is Tony Daniels, like he said. I'm the men's assistant soccer coach down at the University of Rio Grande in Southern Ohio. I've been there for the assistant coach for about the last 20 years. I've worked at the university. I've helped out and I've volunteered the PE for exceptional children and also Special Olympics for the last 20 years. It was a great enjoyment to help out Matt's idea in how we were going to partnership the soccer teams at the university with the people at the GDC. When we brainstormed the idea, I took it back to the soccer teams, and without any hesitation whatsoever, they jumped at it, and they said, look, what do we need to do to get this off the ground? Let's make this a special event. And it was hard for us because we're in mid-season for both the boys and the women's teams, and we're trying to make it a memorable experience. With that, the next thing you know, we started to do the advertising around the county and around the community, around the university, and everybody was coming out with ideas and saying, what can we do to help out? And I just sort of sat back and watched everybody just take over in regards to how they were helping out to make this a special event. With that, the one thing that I really, really enjoyed was giving back to the community, because on that night, it was a little bit cold. We do at the university a soccer academy for little youth kids. And then the other athletic programs at the university came out. There was people in the community that came out. We had about 200 to 300 people there for the event. And it was really a fantastic event that took place. With that, I want to go ahead and turn it over to one of our soccer players who's also the women's head coach at the University of Rio Grande. He's from Redcar, England, so you might not understand him 100%. He's going to go ahead and try to go ahead and speak, I think. All right, thank you very much.
Morning, guys. Yes, I am from England. My name is Callum Morris. If you can't understand me, sorry, I'll try and speak a little slower. For me, it was just to make the night special for those guys that took part. It was a night to make it like a professional game, under the lights, with referees, and we really saw a lot of enjoyment from everybody that was there. Speaking on behalf of myself, my teammates, and the women's soccer team, to take part in such an amazing event, and it was just really nice to give back to lives that don't get that stuff. We like to try and give back to these very special people. My team, my girls' team, and my soccer mates all think that those guys were amazing, and really looking forward to doing it again next year. So, with that being said, we take things for granted a lot of the time, and it was our way to give back. Thank you. Matt.
I'm going to close now, but I would like to say that the Superstar Soccer Classic is definitely a yearly thing now. Am I right, Coach Daniels? Not to mention, we are starting to partner with our university a lot more, bringing programs to GDC, not only sports, but art. Now, in closing, sports have become a huge form of activity at GDC. Not only do they teach good sportsmanship and core values, they also promote health. Not to take away from the soccer that we've been talking about, but I would like to brag that the GDC Golden Eagles basketball team have gone undefeated this year, and next Friday are headed to the semifinals in Cincinnati. George is one of our players on that team. So let's give them a round of applause and some good luck. Thank you very much. I guess, do I say Lon? Okay.
Hey, what a great story. Great story. I don't want you to forget why we are here, and something I said when we began our presentations, that you are making history. You're working hard, you're getting the word out, you're making it a welcoming community. So again, let's give each of us a big round of applause. We are doing it. And look at the crowd, standing room only. People were up on the balcony looking down on us. We're making some noise. Also, we had the song about making friends and how important friends are. So let's take a moment to make sure that we don't leave here without making some new friends. So turn to the people next to you, shake hands, give a high five, turn around to the people behind you and say hi. Make some new friends. My new friend, Tim. How about a round of applause for Tim? He's worked hard. Let me again remind you about Legislative Advocacy Day coming up May 8th, and Carmen is here to pass out literature. She's back over in the corner by the Ohio Public Images table if you'd like some more information. Again, look through all the tables. I see my friends Karen and Connie from Civitan. We know we've got Goodwill, Ohio Legal Rights, a lot of good displays here, so take some time to look at them. Oh, wait a minute. There's you're the president now of the DD Council? Wait a minute, I can't hear you. ARC of Ohio, that's what it. Come on up here. We can't let the day go without you. while our new president of ARC of Ohio was coming forward, I just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to work on a rally to keep you guys coming back together into the future. We want you all to take the word back, what you've learned here today about being a self-advocate, about dancing. Take it home with you and tell the people that you know, especially we've got an election coming up next week. Make sure those election polling sites.
3 months earlier because of the presidential election.
Yeah, we've got the primary coming up on the 6th of March. Make sure those voting locations are handicap accessible, and then work hard to get everybody registered to get out there in November. First Tuesday after the first Monday in November is when we'll elect a new president. Speaking of president.
Well, thank you. Oh, thank you. They got tired of me of people first, so the ARC of Ohio's got me. The ARC of Ohio's has one coming up for Legislative Day, and it is the 28th and the 29th. 28th and at the Sheraton across the street. For some of you, you may remember it as the Hyatt across the street, and Hyatt on the square, but it's still the same building and all, and we all hope to have a good time and stuff like that. And then I got to remember where my paycheck comes from, so right back there, Dave Faulkner, raise your hand, from CRSI has a booth here, and we're supportive of it and stuff. And I got a good friend that I've gone to school with since 1963, Ronnie Kaufman, raise your hand. Or do you want to come up here? Never mind, he won't come up, so he'll shoot me. So, thank you.
They pay you? You get a paycheck?
Thank you. Oh. They say it's a sin to pay me for my work.
Oh, a sin to pay you for your work. We won't go into that one. Everybody have a good time? All right. Have a safe drive back. We will see you next year. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.